Hey, seventh grade, coming to you from my office because never present with gum in. I wanted to do this before I get home because I have to wait anyways and get my daughter from dance. So let's try this out here on the Chromebook. Unfortunately, my PowerPoint presentation's loading, so hopefully that comes up soon. There it is. So let's jump right in. Happy Tuesday morning. Remember, as future ready students, future ready beavers, the kind of students we want you to become now or in the near future. The second E, we're already moving through this pretty fast, stands for being empathetic and kind. Empathy, as we talked about several times, is the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and just think, would I like to hear those words? Would I like that behavior directed at me? Okay. And I've dealt with people who they have some meanness and some student conflict, and they don't even have to imagine what it would be like because they've been there before. Okay. So empathy often is the starting point of I know how this would feel to me, so I'm going to treat others accordingly with kindness. All right. So the meanness catches up with people. Okay. If you feel like, oh, well, those guys, they're popular, they're on the sports teams, they're whatever, and they're mean, in real life, that catches up with you. So the kind of student I want you to be in the future, that we as a school hope you are, is knowing that everyone is deserving of kindness. It's not, oh, I'm nice to them if they're nice to me. It's not how it works. Okay. Kindness is for everyone. So that's part of being hashtag future ready. Speaking of that, over the last few weeks, a few people have fallen into something old people like me don't understand, even when I search for it as a meme or this short video. Okay, well, it involves some people saying or sometimes not saying the phrase, I like you cut, G, and it sometimes involves a slight slap in the back of the head. I'm just going to remind you that any unwanted touching, whether it's meant in fun or not, is not allowed at school and does not vibe with our school goals of kindness and making sure everybody feels safe here. Okay, so I hesitate to bring it up because some people, oh, I'm going to play that now. Not a good idea. Okay, you're getting real close to hitting, especially in the head area. Not a good choice, so don't do it. Coming up, speaking of choice, I know you guys as seventh graders are 12, 13 years old only. Okay, you're not ready to vote in elections for senators and presidents and various things that may be on the ballot, but that's going to come up here in the next 3 weeks in our country, and it's going to be a bit of a tumultuous time. But I just want you to know, stay informed. All right. I actually heard a podcast recently where people were fighting to look at getting the voting age changed to 16, which I know you're not even 16 yet. And I don't know if that would ever change, but you guys are our future. And honestly, our political climate's pretty divided and just not a good, healthy place right now. And I hope that the next gen, that's you guys, can change that a little bit and know that even if we have issues and in terms of differences of opinion on how things should be ran in our country or state or community, it's okay. We're all on the same team. We're all Americans. And so do your best to stay informed on issues, even now, starting now, knowing that just because you read it on Facebook doesn't mean it's true. Learn to find legitimate information that is backed up and has some documentation. And just know that if somebody disagrees with you, it's okay. All right. But just brace yourselves because the adults in the country are going to probably be a little wacko for the next few weeks. So we apologize. Do better than us when you get older. All right. Finally, talks about bathroom down there, primarily a sixth grade problem. If you want to be trusted in the bathroom, that's fine. Okay. You can be let at a hall pass, go get a drink, whatever, come right back. People that wander or cause some problems or certainly feel like they want to make a mess in there, doesn't turn out very well for them. Ask the people who've been cleaning the school off and on lately. All right. So it's kind of like anything with adults. If you want a little more freedom, including the freedom, you as 12, 13-year-olds may not be able to vote, but you should be able to go use the restroom on your own. We're going to give you that trust, but often you can lose it. All right. Next up. So we in our second step stuff, like I've told you before, this is a new unit that I'm not familiar with, but we're trying it out for you. We've been talking about goals and mindsets in our first unit, which I believe, if this isn't the last lesson for unit one, next week is. All right. So we've been talking about roadblocks for a couple weeks now. First, recognizing those, seeing them for what they are. This is what's hindering me. This is the internal or external conflict that I've got to overcome to reach my goal. All right. Last week we had a part one situation where we talked about overcoming roadblocks and how we can do that. And this is kind of part two, I'm going to escape from that and go to our other lesson over here. Just focuses on you. Hopefully, you can see that all right. That we had our little example lady who's in the fake X-Men Academy, right? And she's trying to harness her powers. So, this is more about you. And it talks about thinking ahead a little bit, not always being in the moment and just think, well, I want to accomplish this, but I just kind of ping around like a squirrel from choice to choice. All right. This involves a little bit of foresight. So, it also involves a little bit of reflection that you are supposed to think about a specific and realistic goal you want to achieve in the next month. So, in the next month, this trimester will end. And so, if you are a good little boy or girl student, you should have a couple goals, a school and a non school or even extracurricular related goal on one of the first pages in your agenda. Remember where you wrote your schedule, and then there was a spot for some SMART goals. All right. I want you to glance at those. If you haven't done that yet, homeroom teachers, get after them. If you don't have your agenda, homeroom teachers, pause and make them go get it. All right. So, the SMART goal is supposed to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time based. And so it can't be go to the NBA because that might be a great long term goal. It's just certainly not something you can accomplish right now. Okay. So look at one of those goals on your agenda. If for whatever reason you don't have that, think of something. We're going to do a little bit of activity to put this whole overcoming obstacles if then concept to work, if you're all right with that. All right, let's try it. So remember the two parts to an if then plan include the if, which is a cue that you can respond to quickly. This kid says, I am hungry and tempted to eat unhealthy snacks. So the if kind of entails the roadblock. If my friends distract me when I'm supposed to be practicing my instrument. Okay. If, and you're working on getting less shy, you start getting nervous in front of people. Okay. If, so when the roadblock comes up is the if. All right. Then is a specific problem solving type action that you can immediately follow after the if. Okay. Turn your phone off if your friends are distracting you. Okay. What else did we have there? Forgot of what other scenario I had talked about. Oops. My brain is going out a little bit on Monday. But let's look at his. I am hungry and tempted to eat unhealthy snacks. His then, I'll eat one of the healthy snacks I put in my backpack. You see the foresight? What if he doesn't have any healthy snacks in his backpack? Then he has to have a little bit of planning. So I don't know what your goals are, but see if you can identify a roadblock and put that in sort of an if situation, and then how you respond will be your then. Okay? So if roadblocks, right? 3 roadblocks you think you might face while trying to achieve your goal. So in your agenda, you can write little bullet points off to the side. What are 3 things that could prevent you or slow you down from achieving that goal? All right. I can't come up with specific examples. I wish I was in class with you there in pod, but I don't know what you wrote. A lot of you guys just want to, because you feel like you're telling us what we want to hear, and I get that, appreciate that, but you might have just put get better grades. All right. That's fine. It's a little vague. I don't know what better means. I don't know which grades you want to specifically get up, but say that you did get specific and you want to turn your math grade from a C to an A. All right. Roadblocks that could get in the way. Let's see. Examples. If I'm being distracted by social media, that works for math too. If I don't have the right study materials for my report, oh, okay. Same thing. You forgot your workbook. If I find myself eating too much junk food, not so much with math, even though it could make your brain not be the best. Okay. So, what are 3 things that could get in the way? Choose one of the roadblocks you wrote down. So just one, even if you didn't get 3, that's okay. Work with a partner to think of 3 ways you could get past this roadblock. So this is like 3 different thens, actually for just one if. So if you have something on social media, I'll set a 10-minute timer on my phone to limit my social media time. Then I'll go to the library to get the right materials. If you don't have stuff for your report, then I'll carry healthy snacks with me in my backpack. So however you do it, if you want to do one then or solution for each if or roadblock, however you want for your goal, doesn't matter to me. I'm going pretty fast because I want to get this wrapped up so I can go pick up my daughter, I'm not going to lie, from dance practice. So I got to hurry. But if you need to, homeroom teachers, you're welcome to pause for a moment. All right. Next up, your turn. You could choose another roadblock if you want and write an if-then plan. But what I would maybe do is if you hopefully you have 2 goals there. And we made them for a whole trimester, so they're coming up. Choose one one that was your favorite. Choose one that you're close to attaining, and then look at some roadblocks. All right, identify them. What is preventing you from making a new friend, or there's somebody in your class that you want to talk to. What's going to be in your way? Maybe it's things that other people will say. Hey, I'm friends with these people, and for whatever reason, social pressure is saying, well, you shouldn't be friends with them. I remember that in high school, actually. There's people I liked, maybe even a girl too that I wanted to date, that because they weren't deemed cool, that was something that was a roadblock. So I wonder what the if then could have been. If they start making fun of me, or if they tease me about something, then I'll just tell them, don't worry about it. It's none of your business. But I didn't have any kind of plan back then. All right. So look closely at that goal page, please. We're going to move on from goals really soon. And I hope it's not wasted time. But really, guys, without some plans, and this is why we're trying to keep it in the short term, just 1 month, because all you guys that have grand plans of becoming doctors and stuff, you all have that potential for sure. But we can't make that happen overnight. All right. So we want to start building these good habits and having short things that you can attain with your goals. And a big way of doing that is recognizing overcoming obstacles. And sometimes just a positive attitude can help you with obstacles. Say, I got to keep trying. Certainly there's some resiliency, the ability to fight back. But how about we just also plan? All right. I think of somebody that can be really resilient and get knocked down several times and say, I'm going to keep fighting. Well, the smart person would say, how do I knock down next time? Come up with an if then plan. All right. So the wrap up. Why is it helpful to anticipate roadblocks that can get in the way of your goals? And how does having a different strategy to try when you encounter a roadblock help? Because preparedness, right, for that first one. And then I do like that maybe you need a couple different thens, that you need a couple different strategies in case that goes poorly for you. All right. Quote to end on is from one of my favorite historical figures, Winston Churchill. And he said, it is a mistake to look too far ahead. Only one link of the chain of destiny can be handled at a time. That's what we're talking about, short-term goals, right? Hey, you don't always have to be solving things overnight. And that's my presentation. And I'm not 100% sure it's still recording. It looks different on the Chromebook. So maybe I'll go back to doing this at home. But I appreciate you guys listening. Have a great Tuesday. Talk to you soon. No, I was trying to make stupid pod.
Oh,
And
I like how you're doing it with the.
well, I've been using my home laptop, which works great.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to. Oh, there it is.